Okay, so today we continue with our class Halachos of Brochos, and we start with the Sefer Halachos of Chaim. And the big topic is the same, believe in Rechilus. And today's topic, beyond reproach. Halacha does recognize that there are individuals who are so precise, both in perception as well as their conveying of the facts, that here and there count is tantamount to witnesses the act in person. One would be permitted to believe even rechilus told by such individuals, but could not share the information with others. It's very interesting. So some people, I don't know personally anybody like this, but of course these people exist, right? They're so precise, so accurate, so paying attention to details. Whatever they said it's not without any exaggeration. That's what you can believe, right? Even though it says you can believe, but you cannot tell others. That's a different story to tell others. As stated in laws of Loshan Hara, Chofetz Chaim contends that no one today can claim to possess a degree of integrity. So a person would never lie, would never make up things. And therefore, one should not rely on this halacha in practice. Okay, even though it's possible to have it, but not in nowadays. Okay, stop here. No problem. So let's continue. So just to remind us, we finish our official material of the book, right? And we're going through the handbook, what is called handbook. So we go through all of these different foods, and we say what blessings to make. So first we say what food, then what blessing before, what blessing after, and notes if any. So I usually, if there are notes, I just skip it because it's not every time, but let's see. So we're on letter B, and next one is borscht. So what is a borscht? It's a soup with pieces of beets. So we say chadama on it. So on soup we say only one blessing. We say chadama borei nefashos. So it's very interesting. So it says that the borscht, the bracha for a clear borscht, without pieces of beets, is subject of halachic uncertainty. So they actually sell it in the stores, right? In the jars. So halachic uncertainty. So better eat it with a bread meal, or say shechakol, let's say on something else, and say on something else. Because as we said when we were discussing the soups, so the liquid itself becomes like part of the salad. So when you calculate how much you're supposed to eat in order to say the after blessing, so liquid is actually added to the salads. Continue. Next one is Boston cream pie. I'm not sure what is it, but it says mizoinas alechem mechia. So it's very interesting. So commentators say Boston cream pie, despite its name, is a cake, not a pie. It is made of layers of sponge cake, of course, which is filled with custard filling. I'm not sure what is it. The filling is an enhancer. Therefore, mizoinas made on a cake exempt the filling. Okay, as well. Brocha achrana. If kizais of the mizoinas is eaten, within kidei hilas pras is alamechia. So it's like for every other food. So if somebody ate kizais of this cake, even though it's called pie, so you have to say the after blessing. And plus, it is every or almost every cake. It's a bread family. If he ate enough, 8 ounces. So we would say birchas hamazon. So Boston lettuce, we say chadama borei nefashos, and of course, as every lettuce, it says require inspection for bugs prior using. Okay, on the bran. On bran, we say shechakol, and after borei nefashos. So it says bran is the outer shell of grain. The bracha for cereal made for bran only For example, all bran is shechakol, right? So remember, if it says all bran, you say shechakol, because it's not really fruit, like food. Okay. So next one, we say bran flakes, raisin bran cereal. So okay, on those you say mizonas ala mechia. So why is that? Commentary: bran is mixed with the wheat or oats flour, therefore make mizonas. Right? If you, of course, if you eat with milk, milk is covered. Continue. Bran muffins, mizonas ala mechia. As we said before, the bran muffins are made with a significant amount of grain flour. So it's not the old bran, right? The mincha ko'elam is to make ala mechia on kizayis of cake, even though less than kizayis of flour is eaten. So as we said before, so I mean, if somebody wants to be stringent and eat a little more just in case, there is no problem, right? But even though you have these muffins, of course, there is sugar there and butter and all of these other ingredients, raisins or chocolate chip. So of course, it's not always when people say it's 1 ounce is 1 ounce of all together, one kizayis altogether. But even though it's 1 ounce altogether, still many people would say the blessing after eating ala mechia, as it was 1 ounce of the flour only, right? But if you want to be stringent, you can eat a little more just to make sure that you have you ate 1 ounce of flour itself, the dough, not flour but the dough, but it's not necessary. Next one. Next one is brandy. So on brandy we say shechakol. And the after blessing is not clear, so let's see. The mincha is to make shechakol on types of brandy, even those made from distilled wine. Okay. A revis is usually not consumed in short minimum a time span required by bracha achrona. Therefore, according to most poskim, usually exempt from bracha achrona. Okay, so if you eat brandy, if you drink brandy like by itself or any hard liquor, just by itself, of course you're going to say the blessing. But during the meal, usually we don't say the blessing. Because why? Because it's promote the appetite. You like people. I maybe personally I don't drink this garbage, but some people like it, right? So they drink and then they have this appetite and eat more, right? So it says since it's for the purpose of the meal, so you don't say the blessing. But if you drink separately, of course you say the blessing. But since it's so strong, usually people don't drink enough. I know. I mean, for them it's enough, but for the bracha is not enough. So we said it's like 3 ounces, almost 3 ounces you have to drink to say the blessing. Okay, so continue. Brazilian nut you say ho-eitz, and barene fashos. Of course, if you eat grapes with this and you say blessing on the grapes, it would cover Brazilian nut as well. Okay, next one is bread. On bread we say chamotzi, of course, and birchas hamazon. And the commentaries say if it's possible to say the blessing on a whole loaf, it's always preferable than to do on a sliced bread. So, and benching, meaning birchas hamazon, is required only when it's eaten kizayis meaning 1 ounce is eaten in kidei hilas pras, as we said, 3 to 4 minutes, as with all other foods as well. So that's why on for Shabbos you need to have like 5 rolls usually, right? Breads, challahs, rolls, whatever you have, right? So you always would have like for a Friday night you have 2, even though you eat one. Let's say you eat one. Shabbos day you have 2, so you already ate 2, right? So here's a 3, and for the third meal you also have 2, but you eat 1, so and you have 1 left for Milava Malka. That's here we go. That's very simple. So like second roll could be smaller. So if you of course you don't need so much bread, so you can have like pita or something like smaller, something smaller. Okay, continue. Breadsticks. For breadsticks we say mizones because it's always eaten as a snack. It's not real food. And ala michia. Of course, it's from bread family. If you eat a lot, so you say birchas hamazon. Breaded fish, and we say thin coating. We say shechakol barei nefashos. Right. So commentary say breaded fish, for example, fried flounder, fried fish sticks, are generally made with a thin coating. Therefore, shechakol. So meaning this mizones is not relevant really. Next one is breaded chicken or meat, thin coating, shechakol barei nefashos. So exactly the same. Breakfast cereals. We spend some time discussing that. I'm going to skip. Broccoli. On broccoli, you say chadama barei nefashos. So it says, note broccoli florets, both fresh and frozen, have a high probability of being infested with insects and should not be eaten unless one is certain that there is insect-free. There is grown in insect-free environment. See, broccoli kugel. So basically, what they do, I think that they grow somewhere in a sand or something. We used to eat broccoli, but it's too much bother to look for this insect. You have to break it in smaller pieces. Too much, so we stopped. So we did we find the insect? Yeah. So, even after a few washing, you wash twice, right? You follow all of the procedure, and then you check, and then a few times I found the live bugs, and three or four times I found dead one. It's very good results comparing to what it could have been, but still it's too much of a risk. Okay. Continue. So I'm going to skip. Okay. Broccoli stems. On broccoli stems you have chadama barei nefashos, and the note is wash thoroughly, can be used without inspection if checked. So this box is only in the head, in this head part, not in the stem. Okay. So if any question, just stop me. Any comments, you can stop me. Brownies. Okay. No, brownies, of course, we say mizoines and ala michia, because even though in brownies there is a lot of cocoa or I don't know, chocolate or whatever they use, but still the main majority is flour. Okay, of course it's from bread family, so if person eats a lot, so he would need to say birchas hamazon. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts, you also say barei chadama barei nefashos, and it says requires inspections prior to using. So we eat Brussels sprouts, we check never ever. I'm not sure. I never ever found one even dead insect, not even one. Okay, that's very interesting. Buckwheat kasha. So we say chadama barei nefashos. Buckwheat kernels. Despite its name is not grain. It's not even though it's buckwheat, right? Wheat, but it's just a name. It has nothing to do with that. So buttermilk, we say shechakol barei nefashos. Okay, so we go to letter C. Cabbage, chadama barei nefashos, and it says requiring inspection for insect prior using. Again, we always check cabbage, never found anything, never ever. Okay. But I guess when I say never ever, maybe because of the supplying company in the stores where we buy. So you don't have to take my word. So you have to. We continue checking. But what I'm saying, we never found anything. So it depends where you live, and how do they grow, and it depends on many aspects. So we have to check anyway. Okay, so next one is cabbage soup with pieces of cabbage. Of course, we say hadama, but nefashos. Okay, so it says if it has okay, no problem. So it says if cabbage soup without cabbage, so that's a questionable situation. Continue. Cabbage strudel. So of course, because there is a dough involved, so we say mizoines. But after blessing, it's very interesting. So it says generally less than kizayas of mizoines is eaten. So I guess that the dough is very thin, right? Within kidei hilas pras, and thus, in which case make bare nefashos, provided that between filling in mizoines at least kizayas is eaten within kidei hilas pras. Okay, of course, cabbage is required inspection. So when we eat something with a dough, but it's like very thin layer, so dough is added to the ingredients. So by weight. So right. So you cannot say you cannot say alamihia, but you can say always bare nefashos if you ate enough. Okay. So cake. Okay. Of course we discuss cake, but just read it. Right, cake we say mizoina salamihia. So and we say all of the ingredients of the cake actually count toward the weight. So even though you have a cream or filling, whatever jelly, whatever we have there, it's also counted as a part. Continue. Calf foot jelly pecha. So of course we say shihakol bare nefashos. It's very interesting. So it's considered a salad with regard to the shiur habracha. So for those who knows what is it? It's like it's like a jelly, right? They cook the food. I'm not sure for a very long time, right? And they add other meats, and then they make a jelly with the meat inside. It's very interesting. I'm not sure. I don't think it's very healthy food, but it's very tasty. Okay. Next one is calzone. So it's like Italian food. So you say mizoines alla mihia. So of course you have to eat it in 3 to 4 minutes, right? But of course there is a filling inside, so it does not count. Usually person does not eat enough. Usually, if you eat fast, maybe then to say ala mihia. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure how many. It depends on the size. Maybe if he eats A2, would say ala mihia. Okay. Cantaloupe. So for cantaloupe we say hadama bare nefashos. Okay. So it says that if eaten as appetizer for bread meal, see page whatever. So for appetizers, that's a problem. So usually for fruits and vegetables we say separate blessings. So our rabbis advise us. So if you want to eat this cantaloupe or other fruits or vegetables that they usually eaten as appetizer during the meal, so not like in the middle of the meal, not at the end, and at the end it's straightforward, but in the middle of the meal. So make sure that you eat a little before you start your bread meal, right? You say the blessing and make sure that you ate less than kizayis. Well, why is less than kizayis? In this case, you're not obligated to say the blessing after that, right? But you keep in mind that I'm going to continue with this cantaloupe or whatever I'm going to eat during the meal. Okay. Okay. So in this case, this cantaloupe or all of these dessert fruits, they covered by the first blessing, and after the blessing, when you say Birchas Hamazon, everything is covered. Next one is carambola. What is carambola? It's star fruit. So you say Choetz Bare Nefashos. Okay. Caramel candy. Okay, you say Shechakol. So of course, commentators say often one does not eat kizayis of this candy in Kidei Hilas Pras. So in 3 to 4 minutes, usually people don't eat this candy. I mean, it depends on the candy. So if somebody eats so much, yeah, but otherwise, no after blessing. Next one is carob, and you say Choetz and Bare Nefashos. Okay. Continue. Carob. Carob cake. You say mizoines ala michia. So why is it mizones? Because majority of the cake is a flour, right? And even of course the ingredients count over the flour. So even if you ate only kizayis of cake, you still say ala michia. Okay. So it says carrots. Next one, carrots. You say chadama bare nefashos. The commentary says the raw carrots also subject to chadama. So I mean, because carrots are eaten both ways. Not everything eaten is in both ways. Some foods only eat raw, some only cooked. But carrots and apples and some other things only they eat raw and cooked. Okay. Carrot cake. So on carrot cake we say mizones ala michia. Carrot juice we say shechakol bare nefashos. On all of the liquids we say shechakol except wine. Continue. Carrot raisin salad. I will try one. We say chadama bare nefashos. So why is chadama, right? Because raisins being a lesser ingredients are tofu to the carrots. So when we have a mixture or something, so we say the blessing. Usually we say the blessing on a majority of ingredients. So in carrot raisin salads, of course, we say on the majority, which is carrots. I don't know what is it. Cassava melon. So on cassava melon, we said chadama bare nefashos. If used as appetizer for bread, see page as we discussed before. Cashew nuts, we say choetz bare nefashos. So if somebody ate it with the grapes, so you say blessing on the grapes, covering nuts as well. Cauliflower, right? We say chadama bare nefashos, but it's also require inspection. So also we used to eat this cauliflower. I mean, it's possible to check, but I mean, time consuming. Let's put it this way. Did we find? Yes, we found a few things, but you always worry since it's like there are so many places for them to hide. So you always worry maybe you miss something. Okay, so celery. For celery, we say bare pricha dama bare nefashos. Celery stalks, if washed and brushed thoroughly, can be used without inspection. That's what we do. Okay. Celery soup. It's very interesting. So, I mean, what blessing do we make? Okay, so they say we're going to discuss another place. No problem. Cereals. So, 'cause, 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 ' So they direct us a challah. Okay, so on the challah we say chamotzi birchas chamazon, of course. Challah kugel. So challah kugel is usually, as we said, is made from leftover challah, just to recycle. So of course we say mizoines, because usually you break these pieces like in smaller, like smaller pieces of challah. It's not complete. And ala michia. And the minhag is to make mizoines and ala michia on all types of challah and bread puddings. Okay, so it's like an exception, right? Okay, because sometimes you would see the real pieces of challah. It's not like they break it so in tiny pieces. Okay, so next one is champagne. So on champagne we say barepricha geffen. So champagne is always from grapes, right? And ala geffen. So in commentaries say champagne is carbonated wine, often is sipped slowly, in which case it is exempt from bracha achrana. The minhag ha'olam is not to make bracha achrana on beverages unless revi is consumed without interruption within a short time span. Okay. Okay. And it's a very interesting note. So it says, champagne from Eretz Israel, the bracha achrana ends with Va'al pri gofen. Okay. On Cheerios we say, of course, mezoines ala michia. Continue. Cheese shihakol bare nefashos. Cheesecake. So it's not clear. So cheesecake we said if it's has this base, thick like layer of dough, then you say bare mine mezoines. Otherwise, if it's only to keep the cheesecake together, so we say shihakol. Right, and usually you don't eat enough of this dough part to say la michia. Usually don't. Continue. Cheese noodle kugel. Mizoines ala michia. So usually they say cheese noodle kugel. So it says that if his eyes of noodle is eaten with a kidei achilas pras, which is I don't think it's a big deal, because these noodles actually they're very heavy, right? So you can simply eat kizais. So okay, so next one is cheese pancakes. So let's see. It says so we go straight to the commentary because it's not clear. Right, so we said generally flour is added for the taste and satiation. Right, cheese pancakes. In which case we say mizoines and ala michia. So even the cheese is majority ingredient, right? We don't deny it, yeah. But since this mizoines added for satiation, so we say mizoines. Okay, so if he ate enough flour, is it possible to eat enough flour? I mean, it depends how many of them you eat. I think, like my understanding, usually not, because I don't want to say percentage wise, but it's not much of the flour. It is added for satiation and to keep it together for taste, but basically not enough. Okay. Continue. So meaning that you say bare nefashos on a cheese. A cheese right casserole. Cheese right casserole. So we say mizoines because it's all of this dough, right? Bare nefashos. Right? Why? No, I apologize. It's not because the dough, it's because of the rice. So on rice we say bare mizoines, but after blessing we treat rice as a vegetable. Okay, so cherry we say bare prichoetz bare nefashos. So if we eaten with the fruits of 7 species, of course, blessing on the 7 species covers cherry as well. Cherry Danish. we say mizoines ala michia. So since just to remind us, it's one dish that was cooked together, so you're not allowed to separate like cherry from the middle of the donut, say blessing on a cherry, and then make blessing on a dough. You must make only one blessing on the mizoines, and that's it. Everything is covered. Next one is cherry wine. So we saw shechakal barene fashos. Why? Because it's not made from grapes, therefore not classed as wine. So even though in the bottle it says wine, but halachically it's not wine. Okay. Chestnut roasted. We say Chofetz barene fashos. Chestnut raw. So usually, as I understand, people don't eat chestnut raw, so you say shechakol, because that's not how is it eaten. And but after blessing, barene fashos. Okay. Next one is very interesting. Chewing gum. When chewing gum, we say shechakol, and of course there is no bracha achrana, right? Because I mean you don't eat chewing gum, hopefully, right? You don't swallow it. Okay. On a chicken you say shechakol barene fashos. Okay, no problem. Chicken a la king. I'm not sure what it means. It says shechakol barene fashos. So in this dish, chicken is a primary ingredient. Vegetables are minority. Okay, and enhancing the ingredient. So it's like secondary. That shechakol covers them. Okay, so next one is a chicken Cantonese, so some kind of Chinese chicken. So after the blessing baren nefashos, but the question is what is first blessing? So commentaries say made from large pieces of chicken and vegetables, which are not eaten together on the same fork spoon. So meaning is forkful, meaning is huge. Therefore, 2 brachas are required, so meaning they're not mixed. First bracha chadama on vegetables. I'm not sure what vegetables are those. And shechakol on the chicken. Right? So if the pieces of the chicken and vegetables were small, eaten with one forkful, you would need to say only one blessing. Chicken chow mein. Okay. Chicken chow mein. So after blessing we say barene fashos, commentary, generally made from a small pieces of chicken, vegetables and rice, which are eaten together on the same fork spoon. Therefore only one bracha is required. If majority is rice, make the baremine mizoines. Majority vegetables, majority chicken, make shechakol. So it depends who is cooking. So if you cook at home, it would be shechakol, I guess, majority chicken. If you buy from the store, probably the majority is rice, I guess. So next one is chicken fat. In parentheses says grebenes. So you say shechakol if you eat it straight. After blessing, people usually don't eat that much, and commentaries say often eaten as enhance other food, in which case it is covered by bracha on other foods. Generally exempt from bracha achrana because nobody eats enough. But it's I think in olden days, before people knew about cholesterol and high cholesterol and all of the why people have a heart attack, they would eat a lot this chicken fat. But today, like some people even take this chicken skin and throw it into garbage because of this problem. Okay. Continue. Chicken liver with onions, shechakol, barene fashos. Okay. Chicken pies. Chicken pie. So on chicken pie, you say mizoines, of course, I mean, because it's dough, and you say ala mechia. Okay, so it says usually person does not eat enough the dough, so you say barene fashos after that, unless of course you ate a lot and not enough. So and then you say alamihia. So chicken salad. On chicken salad you say shechakol barene fashos. I wonder why. Chicken is the primary ingredients. Vegetables are minority. And enhancing ingredients, that's shechakol. And enhancing ingredient, that's shechakol. So I mean, okay. So if you have so much chicken, yeah. But usually the way I understand chicken salad, they say it is chicken salad, but it's only a few pieces of chicken, and mostly it's vegetables. Okay, but if majority is chicken, for sure. Chicken soup, so we say shechakol. Right, in carrots, commentaries, carrot, celery, and other vegetables served with a chicken soup should be technically required separate bracha. However, if the vegetables are eaten with the soup to enhance the soup, as the case of most of the people, they are covered by shechakol made on the soup. Okay, so they're secondary to the chicken in the soup. If intricacies of vegetables eaten within kidei achilas pras, make barene fashos. Okay. Clear soup is considered liquid with regard to the shiur of bracha achrana. So other soups, if you have vegetables in those soups, just to remind us the blessings on the soup. So if you have vegetables in those soups, so liquid is considered like vegetables. Right, meaning salads. So and it's different amount required for salads, as we know, and for the liquids. So for a clear soup, for a clear broth of the chicken soup, so you need to drink what is it, like 3 ounces. Revis. Okay. Okay, so next one is a chicken soup with kreplach and matzah balls. Any questions on what we said? Any comments? Okay, no problem. So we're gonna chicken soups with kreplach and matzah balls. So kreplach, it's like ravioli. Matzah balls is think from matzah meal, right? And they make a bowl and cook it in a soup. Okay. So let's see. If soup is eaten to enhance matzah bowl, eaten in the same spoon, make mizoines. So you say mizoines, okay. If some of the soup is eaten separately, make shechakol. So, but on the matzah bowl, is still since it's made of mizoines products, so you say separate blessing, of course, right? So here's the question: if you have second blessing. So when we say that on a soup you make only one blessing, it's not always true. So there is some exception. One exception is when you cannot eat all of the ingredients in one spoonful. Okay. Or for example, you have pieces of chicken in there. So you have a piece of chicken, but it's vegetable soup. It's mostly vegetables, so you would have to say 2 separate blessings. Okay, chicken with bread stuffing. Okay, so chicken with bread stuffing. So what does it mean? So it says first make mizoines and sub of the stuffings, right? Because I mean even though they were cooked together, but it's like 2 separate dishes, right? Mizones eat some stuffing, then shechakol eat some chicken without stuffing. If kizayis of the stuffing is eaten within kidei achilas pras, make ala mihiya. Okay. If kizayis of chicken or half kizayis of chicken, half kizayis of stuffing is eaten, so So make bare nefashos. So meaning you can always combine the salads. So solids combined with solids and liquids combined with liquids. So, but in some cases, as we said, if it's a vegetable soup, so we treat liquid as salad. Okay, so next one is a chicken with rice stuffing. So we say first make mizoines and eat some of the stuffing, meaning rice. Make shechakol and eat some of the chicken. Okay. So and then one is chickpea. So on chickpea we say hadama bare nefashos. But here the commentary said just to remind what we learned a long time ago. So as regarding bracha achrona require for natural item which is a whole. For example, chickpeas, say see page 245. So just to remind us what we said, there is one opinion, very strong opinion in Shulchan Aruch. It says if you eat a complete thing, like vegetable, fruit, whatever, even though it's less than kizayis, according to that opinion, you have to say blessing after, even if it's not kizayis. Right? So our sages say, so we have to pay attention to this opinion. So try to eat these fruits or vegetables, whatever you eat, more than kidais for sure, or try not to eat them whole, meaning maybe cut them in half or do something. So otherwise, like according to some opinion, so I mean according to opinion, general approach that if you ate less than kizais within 3 to 4 to up to 9 minutes, you're not obligated to say the blessing after. But according to this opinion, even if you ate one chickpea, so you would need to say the blessing after, right? Which is we have to keep it in mind. Next one is chicory lettuce. So on chicory lettuce we say hadama bare nefashos. Not required inspection for insects prior to using. Okay. Next one is Chinese cabbage. We say hadama bare nefashos, also required inspection. Chinese noodles, mizoines ala michia. So commentaries say Chinese noodles are often eaten as with other foods as an enhancer. Mizoines enhancers, however, are not exempt from a bracha. If kizayis of Chinese noodles are eaten with a kidei hilas pras, and al mihya is required. So even though this noodles is secondary, right? In secondary, but you still need. But since they are mizoines, so you still make a separate blessing on them. So and even the secondaries, as you say, you make blessing on these noodles, and then make blessing on the primary food. So next one is I don't know how to pronounce chiv or chive. So and these chives like scallions, and generally used for season other foods. For example, cheese with vegetables added. Okay, in which case they are covered by bracha on other foods, as we said. Okay, so they are secondary. Not requires inspections prior to for insects prior to using. Dehydrated chives or chives, I'm not sure how to pronounce, may be used without inspections. Okay, chocolate. So on chocolate we say shechakol bare nefashos. Okay, continue. Chocolate bar with almonds. So we say shechakol bare nefashos. And it says the almonds in a chocolate bar are a minority, right? And then an enhancing ingredient. Therefore, you make the blessing on almonds, on a chocolate. Sorry, on the chocolate. Okay, next one, chocolate covered coconut candy. So okay, so they they skip the first blessing. So let's see if we go straight to the commentary. If it made from shredded coconut, the coconut is clearly recognizable. The majority ingredients make hoates. Chocolate covered coconut candy. Chocolate covered coconut candy. Okay, so meaning in this case the coconut is going to be like majority. So and it's clearly recognizable, and it's majority. So make haetz, meaning fruit of the tree. If coconut is not clearly recognizable or is minority ingredient, make shehakol. So it's very simple. So next one is chocolate. Any questions on what we said? Before we continue. Okay, no problem. So then we continue. Chocolate cream pie. Chocolate cream pie. I don't know what is it, but let's see. So it says made chocolate cream pie. Made with made from a pie shell, which is filled with chocolate pudding. That's a lot of chocolate, and the toppings with whipped cream. The mizones and the filling are not baked together. So they're not baked together. They assemble together, right? They put they make shells separately, and then fill with chocolate pudding. Okay, very interesting. The bracha requirements are dependent on the ingredients or on the intention of the person eating it. If eaten like a pie, there is the filling eaten to enhance the dough. Make mizoines, which will exempt the filling. Otherwise, make two brachas. Otherwise, two brachas are required. So, okay, so very interesting. So, the way I understand from what it says here, so it made first they make shell, then they add ingredients. So it's not exactly one dish. I mean, of course, the end result is one dish, but we consider one dish that was cooked together or mixed together, but it wasn't cooked. It was cooked together, and then added one to another. So it's not always. Let's put it like this: not always one dish. So in this case, if you like more like pie, and this pudding is only to enhance the pie itself, the mizoines itself, of course, say blessing on the mizoines and covers the pudding, right? But if you like both of them, you like mizoines and you like chocolate, so you say two blessings. There is no problem. You say two blessings. So it says first break off the piece of crust, make mizoines and eat it. Next, make shechakol and eat some of the filling by itself. Brocha achrana. If kizayis mizoines is eaten within kidei hilas pras is ala michya. Of course, if you eat enough. I'm not sure. Like my understanding, because the chocolate is so heavy, maybe it's the crust should be like thicker. I'm not sure. So maybe in this case it would be easier to eat kizayis. I think I'm not sure. It depends, of course. There are different recipes, but just keep in mind. Okay, so next one. So we're on the topic of chocolate. For those who like chocolates. Okay, so chocolate cover fruit or not? So first blessing we're going to check now. Of course, it depends on one's priorities, of course. But the end blessing is bare nefashos always. So it says if one ingredient if one regards the chocolate coating as an enhancer to the fruit or not, make ho'etz. So meaning your primary goal is your primary food, whatever you like, is actually the fruit, right, or a nut. So you make the blessing on a nut and it covers the chocolate. If he regards the fruit or nut as enhancer to chocolate, make shechakol. So Very simple. If neither food regarded as enhancer to the other, according to some poskim, recite the bracha on the majority ingredient. Other poskim rule that the two brachas should be made. See the page this and this. Regarding bracha achrona, requirement of natural items, see this in that page. So let's try to explain. So you have a chocolate covered nut, right? So if you like nuts and the chocolate just make it more tastier, so make blessing on a nut and chocolate is covered. Okay, if you like chocolate more, and you think that nut is actually enhances the chocolate or fruit, you have I don't know, chocolate covered raisins, all these fruits, right? So that then you say the blessing on the chocolate and fruit is covered. But if you don't have any priority, so that's I think that's an issue, right? Why it's an issue? So in this case, some poskim say make a blessing on majority. So majority, I would say always fruit, I think, right? Always fruit or a nut. So okay, or as other poskim say make two blessings. So two blessings is too much, I would say. Of course, you can make two blessing. You can say the blessing on a chocolate and eat a little chocolate, and then like a cat maybe open this thing and make the blessing on a nut itself. But I think it's too much bother. Just make one blessing on if you don't have any special preference, and make it on majority. With majority is which is the fruit. And of course, always keep in mind, as we said before, that if you ate something whole, naturally whole, so according to some poskim, you need to say after blessing. Okay. So chocolate covered orange peels. Orange peels, or orange peels. I mean, so it's not real food that many people eat. But of course, if you enhance it, I'm not sure they fry it in honey, I think, I don't know, and then cover with chocolate, so they're not bitter. So in this case, you say shechakol because it's not normal food, and you say bare nefashos. Okay, so chocolate milk, you say shechakol bare nefashos. Chocolate pudding, shechakol bare nefashos. And it's very interesting. It says in commentary, it says classed as solid, right? With regard to bracha achrona. Therefore, if so, solid meaning it's not going to you cannot simply like pour from one place to another. Of course, maybe it's a little bit more liquidish, but we consider it to be solid. Okay. So continue. The next one is cholent. So on cholent, of course, it's not so simple. So we say, so let's say we go straight to the commentary, and it says, if made from small pieces which are eaten together on the same fork spoon, one bracha is required, right? Because as we said before, it was cooked together, right? If it contains barley, more than just minimum amount, make mizoines only. So because barley was added for satiation and for taste, so mizoines is enough. Even as we said before, even if it's minority, it's going to cover everything. If majority ingredients is rice, so I skip. I apologize. If it does not contain barley, for example, and majority ingredients is beans or potatoes, make bare prichadama only. That's it. And of course, this bare prichadama is going to cover our meat as well. If majority ingredient rice, make bare mine mizoines only. Okay, bracha achrona. If kizayis of barley is eaten within kadei achilas pras, make chamichia only. So, but I don't think a person would eat so much barley. Usually we add barley to the cholent, but it's not so much that you would eat kizayis even in 3 to 4 minutes. Otherwise, make bare nefashos, right? So let's say that you ate this cholent without bread. Okay. Continue. If the cholent was made from a large pieces, various components require their own separate brachas. See page 80. So as we said, it's not mixture. So only whatever you can eat is one fork full. So I can consider to be mixture, and you need one blessing. But if you have like bigger pieces of potato, like I don't know, quarter of potato, and pieces of chicken, like almost whole, like not quarters, but 8 pieces of chicken, like chicken legs, of course they're not mixed with these potatoes and with other ingredients. So in this case, you would need to say 2 separate blessings. Okay, next one is a chopped herring, chopped liver. So of course we say shechakol, barei nefashos. Okay, so commentary. The poskim maintain that when a cracker is eaten with another food, for example, chopped herring, chopped liver, the other food is often being used to enhance the cracker. So as we discussed before, if that's how you eat, you say the blessing on the cracker, and it's going to exempt the food that you put on top of the cracker. But if you like this chopped liver or chopped herring just as much as this cracker, so you would need to make 2 blessings. Okay. So, and then after blessing, of course, depends if you ate, let's say, enough crackers. So if you say that chopped liver enhances your cracker, there is no problem, right? And you ate kizayis of crackers. I'm not sure how. I mean, that depends on the type of the crackers, how many you have to eat. Let's say even in 9 minutes. Let's say you ate. So you say ala michia after eating, and it's going to cover your chopped liver, because chopped liver was secondary, right? But if you don't have any preference, I mean, if nothing is improving, one does not improve another. So you say 2 blessings. You say on a cracker 1 blessing, on chopped liver another blessing, and after you finish, so you say after blessing, depending on if you ate enough crackers. So if you ate enough crackers, you say ala michia, and then barei nefashos after the chopped liver. But if you did not eat enough crackers, so crackers added to the chopped liver, and you say barei nefashos. Next one is hummus. So on hummus we say shechakol barei nefashos. Commentary. Hummus is a dressing made from ground chickpeas, subject to shechakol. Okay, it's generally eaten on bread, crackers, and with a salad. In which case, it does not require bracha achrona. Okay, so let me check time. Okay, so it does not require bracha achrona. So hummus, since it is a dressing, so you don't see the chickpeas itself, so it's you no longer is allowed to say the blessing on the fruit of the ground, because it's not recognizable. Continue. Cinnamon roll. So of course you say mizoines zalem michia. So, and of course it's a bread family, so if you ate like 8 ounces, you need to wash, or you planning to eat 8 ounces, you have to wash and say birchas hamazon. So next one is cocoa and hat, right? Hat cocoa. So the first blessing shechakol, of course, and the last blessing is not clear. So commentaries say the mincha ha'olam is not to make barei nefashos on beverage unless reviz is consumed without interruption within a short minimum of time span. Therefore, hot cocoa is exempt from bracha achrona. When possible, one should preferably allow some of the beverage to cool off in order to drink the last 4.5 ounces without interruption, and make barei nefashos. Actually, we said even 3 ounces is enough. 2.9 ounces is enough. So you have to measure your cup. So, for example, I know my cup is approximately 10 ounces. It's a standard. They go in smaller is 8, a little bigger is 10. So if you have 10 ounces, so in order to say after blessing, if that's all that you drink, so I have to drink like half a cup, a little less than half a cup, and then in a short period of time, then I will be required to say after blessing, or eat some other foods that would require after blessing. So this or that. Okay, so 1 second. Cocoa puffs. So we discussed this. Coconuts. Coconut candy we also discussed. Okay, I think we can stop here and see if we have any questions. So we covered Baruch Hashem a lot. So I mean, I'm going a little faster. I skip some things because this is not to teach you, but it's like a reference book. So if you need to know what blessing to make, so you would look and see, and the author even provide pages. So if you want more information, so look at this in this page and see what's going on. Okay, we stop here. Any questions on any topic? Go ahead.
Yes, Rob, I had a quick question about I'm going to cook for my family tomorrow. Do a barbecue. My wife wants fish, and we're having meat and chicken and stuff. Can I put the fish, if I cook the meat and the chicken, can I put the fish over the grill in the same area, or do I need to put a piece of oil, or how does something like that work?
I would say it's preferable to do it separately. It's preferable to do it separately for sure. So unless. So if it's when you say grill, so if it's outside, it's not in an oven and not in the house, like outside grill, regular grill that does not cover. Like if you don't have the cover, it's going to be always open. So I say if you wrap your fish into aluminum foil, maybe even completely wrap it. So I would say no problem. Go ahead and do it. Right? Maybe even double wrap. Why? So what's the issue? So we are afraid that vapors from meat is going to go into fish or opposite. But if it's wrapped, at least one of them is wrapped. You wrap whatever you want. Right? You wrap fish or you want wrap meat. So it would be no issues. Or do it separately. So what we do, just so you know, so what we do in our house, we try to keep all of the baked goods, even though we have only one stove, so we cannot make them completely paref. Cannot, because that's all we have, only one stove. But we try to keep this stove for 24 hours without using. Like 24 hours, that's enough. And then first we do bread and fish and other things, and only after that we do meat. So in this case we make sure that all of breads or all the cookies or whatever they make, pastries or whatever they make, so they are in some sense it's paref. It's not meat. You understand? But if they would make it in first they do meat and then do the cookies, so for sure the bread is going to be meat bread in double quotes. Of course there is no meat, but the evaporations from the stoves is of course they're going to go into the bread, unless you do self-cleaning. But outside there is different story, since the fumes are going into the air. Understand? So I would say, but usually you don't need much time to prepare fish. Fish, I don't know, half an hour, maybe 20 minutes. It depends on the grill. So and that's it. You're done. So do fish first if you want, according to all of the opinions, and then do meat or chicken, whatever you do. But if you want together, again, no problem. But wrap the fish. Okay, what else? Any other questions? Okay, if not, no problem. So wish everybody good Shabbos. So until next time, till next Monday. Beezrat Hashem. Thank you.